You gotta know the difference. There's the History Museum in Austin has full size laser projectors. Discussions that have to work on Texas. And I hear the things that they had that is a large part of it. I think but I mean, they're talking oh yes, my lock screen. That's Henry Cooper. Home right now. But with me on there, you might be sitting on the bed.
Hello. I guess we're ready now that we have full sound. Welcome again to this year's Phil Hall of Fame celebration. Tonight we read the citations and everybody learns who is going to be inducted this year. And then, of course, tomorrow is the concert where we get to hear these people. First of all, I want to thank the jury, and the members of the jury are listed on the website if you want to check that out. I won't name them again. I want to thank Aaron and the Concom for again giving us time to do this. And I want to thank her for a bunch of other stuff that her and I have been talking about for moving forward for the Phil Hall of Fame. As you know, it all depends on people doing nominations, and this year I came home from FilK to vote 20. Because a couple people, including Kathleen, kind of pushed people or mentioned it at FilK that I needed some, which helped. So without further ado, I'm going to have Kathleen come up first to read the first one.
Slightly less, I don't know. I still look Spanish, but more Spanish formal.
It's a thing.
Is that a thing?
Yes. It's a thing.
Yes, I am short. Just so you know, if there's people here who don't know me, I look fine right this minute. In about 3 minutes, I will be totally blubbering. So expect blubbering throughout this thing. So, the individual that I have been asked to read the induction for is not here. And as I did when Shannon was inducted, I have asked Lauren to take a video. And I would like you all respond as though this person were here. Because they were not able to be here. They would have loved to have been here. But I want them to be it. Here it goes! What's that, 30 seconds of that? So I want them to be able to see their reception from our community, if you will. So Lauren's gonna help us document that for this person who had hoped to watch the live stream, but because it's fan time, they are probably in a car right now. So, you ready? Because we want to get the whole people
I'm already
here.
filming.
All right. Margaret Davis. Has been making extraordinary contributions to FilK fandom since 1989 as a performer, collaborator with other FilK musicians, and a multi-talented supporter. As an employee at Whale Songs from 1992 to 1995, she created the art for many of their releases. She found a cassette submitted by Hugh Hunish that had been languishing unheard and convinced Bob Laurent to publish it, which was the first introduction of German FilK to the worldwide community. In 1993, she co-founded Flowing Glass Music with her husband, Christoph Klober. She does most of the administrative work, supports the engineering, provides art, does layout for many of the releases, and serves as web designer. She produced Diana Paxson's 2 recordings, The Wanderer and Jewel Tones, and co-wrote the music for Snow White, The Mirror's Revenge with Christoph. That musical was nominated for a Hugo Award and came close to winning. She produced Cynthia McQuillan's album Witch's Dance and recorded harp, flute, and vocals on many of her recordings. After Cindy's death, Margaret kept her recordings alive and has continued to make them available to FilKers and fans. She brings an unusually wide range of musical styles to recording and on stage. She acts as a bridge between folk, FilK, and musical healing. Sorry about that. As a performer, Margaret is always professional and prepared. Her vocal and instrumental abilities and energetic stage presence draws audiences wherever she goes. She is a talented singer and performs solo in a duo with Christoph and in 2 other bands, Broceliande and Avalon Rising. She has performed as a studio musician, playing flute, harp, and vocal backups on many FilK recordings. She also plays therapeutic harp music as one of the healing muses. She teaches beginning recorder at every convention at which she and Christoph are guests, helping beginning musicians find a way to express their gifts. She has been a member of the Consonance Com for many years and served as a member of the sound team, among other roles. She's done similar work for FilKON. She's a pillar of the FilK community and is encouraging, good-natured, and kind. For these contributions to FilK music and the FilK community, Margaret Davis is inducted into the FilK Hall of Fame on this 18th day of April, 2026.
Kathleen has said that she will mail this stuff to Margaret, and it's also done an acceptance speech. So on behalf of myself and my committee and FilK Hall of Fame people around all our people and the CONCOM, this is for Margaret.
Thank you. And I thank you very much for that round of applause then, to cover up the sound of me blowing my nose. As often happens after, before I read Margaret's acceptance that she sent me, often after somebody is voted on to be inducted, we find out all kinds of things that really should have been in their induction. But it is what it is. And I will say that one of the things, I knew that Margaret was a really expert FilK gardener, but I will say that I have learned that a number of people who are now very well known and accepted in our community were encouraged early on when they were discouraged because they were told, Amy is raising her hand. They were told that, one or the other negative thing about why they shouldn't be singing or doing whatever they were doing, that Margaret was very encouraging to a lot of our younger FilKers who are well known in our community. And I was going to say some of them are here now, but one of them, the second one has outed themselves. Lauren here, our photographer, is indicating yes, Margaret was very encouraging to her, as Amy has said. Okay, since I've gotten myself blubbering again, it is now time to do Margaret's speech. I'd like to thank the FilK Hall of Fame jury for choosing me and for all the work they do each year. And thanks so much to the FilK community for years of friendship, support, musical camaraderie, and opportunities for growth and to make a positive contribution to FilK music and FilKers. I discovered FilK at FilKON 1989, when I also discovered Christoph Klober, with whom I would forge a lasting alliance and marriage that has supported FilK and music as our primary focus. In the 37 years since then, it has been my great pleasure to meet and interact with FilKers from all over the world, in person and on Zoom. I'm grateful for the time I had working with my dear friend Cynthia McQuillan and with Bob Laurent at Whale Songs as part of the Consonance CONCOM and as one of the leaders of the FilKing at FilKON. I'm so proud to have been able to support Christoph as half of Flowing Glass Music while he pursued his wonderful work of engineering important FilK recordings. I'm equally proud to have been able to contribute my voice, harp, and flute to so many wonderful FilK recordings throughout the years. Over my years in Filk, it has been my pleasure to encourage young and lesser-known Filkers, several of whom have become quite well known. I will always continue to do so and to play on their albums. Filk is my primary community, and what a delightful, supportive, creative community it is. So many came together in our aid when Christoph had a medical crisis, as they always do when members of the community need help. I look forward to many years of making music and friends in this wonderful group of people. Thank you all. You can keep clapping, but I'm blowing my nose. Thank you. Thank you, Lauren. I love you, Margaret.
Thank you, Kathleen, and thank you, Lauren, for doing that. The next person I would like to call up is Howard Scrimger. And Howard was on, was one of the founders of FKO and was there on our committee, or we were on the committee when I first brought up the idea of the Phil Hall of Fame. So he was part of the committee that approved. So again, all the history of the Phil Hall of Fame is on the website if you want to read about it. He is now coming back to help us write the citations because he hasn't been doing it since he dropped out of the Concom, and now he's going to help us.
We all retired.
We all retired. Right. And I've asked him to continue doing it, and I think he's going to. And we actually printed the good copies of the citations up at his place. So next, I would like to call on Howard to do the next citation reading and nomination. I just need to grab something for when he is done. Jesus. Howard?
Tim Griffin. Was dragooned into music at age 16 for a high school musical, The Fantastics, but found he was meeting more girls on stage than at the D&D club, so he stuck with him. A few years later, he was introduced to Filk by an uncle who wrote science fiction. And he was hooked. Tim mostly paid his way through college and graduate school as a performing musician, then brought his music to work with him as an elementary teacher in Los Angeles. After 18 years in public schools, Tim gave up his tenure in 2012 to launch Griffin Education Solutions, Griffin Ed, a nonprofit dedicated to raising academic achievement through fun educational music. Griffin Ed is funded by grants and donations, giving music away through a free online musical library organized by grade level and subject. In 2024, Tim put the reins of Griffin Ed into younger hands, but as Director Emeritus, he remains an active volunteer, writer, and performer. Tim's songs and performance style help us learn what children not only respond to, but also remember and understand. His songs are beautifully crafted and scientifically and historically accurate, and he performs them in an engaging and professional way. Both by example and via workshops, he has helped Filk songwriters learn how to teach while entertaining. He has also integrated members of the Filk community into Griffin Ed by hiring prominent Filkers as writers, producers, and consultants. Tim has recorded 4 albums: Insult to Injury in 2006, The Da Vinci Chord, 2011, Wrong and Right, 2012, and Over the Edge, 2014. He received the Pegasus Award for Best Songwriter Composer in 2014, and 3 of his songs have received Pegasus Awards. Oregon Trail for Best Road Trip Song in 2018, Lucy on the Line for Best Folk Song in 2019, and Shoulders of Giants for Best Science Song in 2023. Tim is a delightful person with a good heart and a giving soul, and has been a wonderful guest at a number of fan conventions. He is a role model for the value and joy of making music together. For these contributions to Filk music and the Filk community, Tim Griffin is inducted into the Filk Hall of Fame this 18th day of April, 2026.
Somebody told me you people really love it when Americans dress up as Jesus. Seriously, I was planning to be here this weekend before I had heard about any of this because I noticed that a lot of my Canadian friends, I just haven't seen them in a while, and I was talking to one of my Canadian friends. We're still allowed to have Canadian friends. And I said, are the Canadian people, are they all avoiding me? And she said, no, Tim, it's not you. Well, it's mostly not you. And and the thing is, what music is all about, I look around this room and people from different countries and different ages and different cultures and different senses of humor and just different ways of making our way in this world. And what brings us all together is the music. And when we look at how the world, particularly my own country, is just tearing itself apart, and I do believe that music and the other arts are the glue. This is how we're going to put things back together. So, there is no place I could imagine being that would make me feel more fulfilled and more happy than making music with all of you, and it is my great joy and privilege to be a part of this community. So thank you all so much, and I look forward to making more music with y'all. Thank you.
Now I'd like to call on Judith.
Okay. I would very much like to thank Margaret and Tim for making me extremely grateful that I did not put on eye makeup. Otherwise, you would be getting this citation read by Judith Lee. I don't know, skunk. And I would also like to know, oh my God, my glasses, I need my glasses. Day by day, year by year, oh my God, I can't see it. Okay, this is sort of a follow-up to what you said. Some of you may or may not know that I do genealogy as a hobby. And it takes up a lot of time, let me tell you. And one of the eminent places for genealogical research is the Allen County Library that's located in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Dave and I have been down twice. Yeah, with that election, the people of Fort Wayne have been so hospitable, so kind, and so much. They keep a point of thanking us for being there because most of us Canadians are not going down. We were never anything but welcome. So that's my only political statement because it's not Americans, it's that asshole. Our two sides of the border have been cooperating since after 1812. Before that, not so much. And we get along real well, and together we do things. And there's this astronaut as well that just made this little visit out there. We are very proud. His name is Jeremy. Anyway, for our last induction today, I apologize to the person who's getting it for taking a little side route. Amy McNally Amy McNally started playing violin at the age of 3. She clearly hasn't stopped for a moment since, because she's one of the most talented and adaptable fiddlers in our community. She has been a Filk Room feature for more than 2 decades. Amy is a versatile musician, comfortable in a variety of styles and genres, ranging from classical to Celtic and trad roots to jazz and rock. She plays with multiple bands, including Wild Mercy and Play It with Moxie. It is uncommon for a soloist to be such an elegant, excellent, actually elegant prize too, accompanist, but Amy is both, and she does so in a way that always adds to the performance. She is often sought out to accompany on stage or on other musicians' recording projects, and is also happy to accompany performers in the Filk circle. Like all good accompanists, she makes everybody she plays with sound better. Amy plays in service to the music, the singer, and the songwriter. She has huge patience and compassion for beginning violin players, and has a gift for noticing something you did well and telling you about it, sometimes months later, in a way that makes you feel seen and worthy. Amy's generosity and encouragement to all voices, especially the quiet and unheard ones, her love of people, and warmth of spirit too, have nurtured many a Filker, many a person in this world of ours. While adding to the work of so many others, her fiddling has become an essential part of the sound of Filk music. For these contributions to Filk music and the Filk community, Amy McNally is inducted into the Filk Hall of Fame this 18th day of April 2026.
I have never been told I could write an acceptance speech before, so I hope you're all ready to wait about an hour before doing anything else. Thank you, Filk Hall of Fame and Filk community, for nominating me for and granting me this induction and award, and putting me in some prestigious damn company. Hi, if you don't know me, my name's Amy and I play the fiddle. This is gonna get kind of personal real quick. Content warning. Discussions of abuse, suicide, and depression. When I was very little, 2 or 3, before I started playing violin, my mom was talking about musicians. And she said of Burl Ives or somebody similar, now there's a man who has a song for everything. And I said, "Do you mean he sings hello? He sings how are you and goodbye? He sings everything?" She had meant rather that he had songs about many things for many occasions, not that he lived as though he were in a musical. I remember eventually understanding the distinction. I liked a little bit more the idea that he sang everything, that he sang hello. But I also liked the idea of having a song for just about everything. Uh-oh. I learned how to perform classically and on folk stages, and how to jam and how to improvise. My mom told me to play along with the radio when it was on Thistle and Shamrock. And I got older and I played Irish sessions and string band jams. My mother taught me to do things correctly and to behave well. This means that she hurt me and screamed at me if I didn't do a number of things that a child ordinarily can't. As a byproduct of such education, I tend to assume I have always done poorly and that I should always do better. It trips a person up, feeling like you always did badly. Luckily, another cornerstone of my childhood education was a man named Tom Lehrer. His songs helped me begin to feel prepared. It was the FilK community that helped me feel like I had finally found some people who sang hello. For all my time there, I was not entirely prepared for my first FilK circle at Markham. I'd been to Markham before, but I hadn't seen this thing. I couldn't figure out what FilK was, even, but I could tell that it meant music because it had concerts and stuff. So I brought my fiddle, and I didn't know what a lot of these people were singing about necessarily. But one guy named Steve knew City of New Orleans, and I know City of New Orleans. Fiddlers love songs about trains. So that was a good start. Even better, I played some of my Irish tunes, and they didn't throw me out. They said, instead, "Can we tell you about OVFF? You haven't been there, have you?" And these people certainly seemed to have songs on a wide variety of topics. I heard somebody cover a pop song, but somebody sang a song that went, "My mother never talks about that orgy." And somebody definitely sang a song or two about books and movies. And it was like they just might have a song about everything. And so I stayed. And I first came home to FilKOntario 24 years ago. Musical connections in FilK can lead to deliciously complex and intricate musical parts and arrangements and performances. Although I've been getting paid to perform music about as far back as I can remember, it still used to give me stage fright. I didn't get nervous before going on stage. It was after I was finished, or I couldn't seem to stop going over how poorly I'd done, how much better I should have done. I remember Shannon's OVFF Toastmistress concert. On one song, I had to end on a wrong note. I'd chosen it, and I'd stayed on it too long, and it was too late to try to resolve it. And I had to just hold on to it and pretend that it was part of some sort of carefully blended jazzy chord or something. It wasn't. It made my teeth ache with embarrassment. And I got off stage because I had a couple of songs before the next number I was on. That was back when I wasn't playing along with absolutely, everything all the time. I walked outside the main concert room and I just thudded my forehead against the wall and my face was so red. "Hey, Amy," said Jan DeMasi. "Oh, hi there." She was with some guy. "You okay?" she asked. Yeah, I just had to end a song on kind of a wrong note and it was not good." "Did they clap?" The guy next to her, obviously some random asshole, interrupted. Yeah, they clapped, yeah. I said, "At least he hadn't been patronizing about it. He seemed politely curious." "Then you did good," the random asshole said, who had probably never done poorly on stage and couldn't possibly understand the shame flooding through me right then, or how much I felt like I had to do better or die. "Amy, I'd like you to meet my friend Frank Hayes." There in front of me was the legend who was never afraid to mess up on stage and keep going. That was in 2005, and Phil was there for me and with me. In 2009, my mother and sister both had a very bad year, which means I did too. During one of the worst moments, I played a somber song, alone in a room, and cried, disconsolate, feeling that I was doing poorly and was very behind at being a normal human. When a cello's voice joined my fiddles out of nowhere, a blessing of harmony out of the blue. I had thought I was alone, and she stepped in. It was a song without words, but it was the right song for the moment. It was not the only one that year, as people I met through FilKONtario formed an Amy relay network of sorts to help get me places, find me notaries public, keep my head above water, help be there for me and with me. Gefilk 2011 was right after my mother died by her own hand. I hadn't been sure whether or not to go to the convention, but I felt trapped after the wake. I couldn't stand looking at my mother's belongings. I felt behind, and like I had done poorly at being a daughter. I am so glad I went to the con and to play it with Moxie, because a voice in my life had gone silent. But I could go into a room of 20 folks there where I maybe only knew one person, and I knew that once we all sang together, we would be strangers no more. That if I needed to sing my grief or play it, they would hear me, they would sing with me, and sing, and sing, and sing. Not long after, I think, and she's told this story, so I know I can too, I went to go visit Jen Midkiff and record on her album All in Good Time. She has a piece about recovering from shoulder injury, which is something I also now know much better than I then did. But to me at the time, it spoke deeply of recovering from these family troubles and loss. And after we listened to the song in the booth, Jen and Debbie and I just hugged and cried for a long time. That song, long time coming, is among the many that keep me going. In 2021, my mental health declined further. Playing the violin only felt slightly less bad than other things, and other things felt very bad indeed. But I'd had people to learn from, and I'd had these songs, you see. I told friends. I got more help. A dear Phil friend took me to a spiritual leader and also to a pub session. I decided on that trip to pursue more treatment, and eventually I tried TMS therapy, which has led to some long-term relief, some amazing relief. And although I felt poorly, and still sometimes do, people found ways to tell me I wasn't doing it wrong, and I wasn't behind. My therapist said I had the biggest support network she'd ever seen. She also found ways to tell me I wasn't behind. She said, "You're making depression your bitch." She knew she could swear with me, I'm not sure why. And I wasn't behind. I had collected a lot of songs to keep me strong. My story was not done. I had more songs to write. Filkers are the sorts of people you see who have a song for just about everything. If Filk doesn't have a song for it yet, just call somebody and we will get that sorted out. If nobody else can write it, we will teach you how to write it. So thank you, Filk Hall of Fame and attendees, for all the ways you have reminded me tonight and over the years that there is a song for every moment. The hard days and the happy days. Our stories are not done. We have more music to create. We have hellos to sing. Thank you.
just want to remind everybody that, that I mentioned that there was going to be a concert tomorrow, and Margaret is not here. But Kathleen was with Margaret, and Margaret turned to her and said, well, why don't you ask Jen Bitkin, who also plays the harp so wonderful. And Jen has harp. And Jen has agreed and learned the songs that Margaret picked, and will be performing them tomorrow. Along with the songs from Margaret, Jim will actually be doing his set of 5 songs, and also Amy, and some of them will be bringing up other people to help. So just remember, we can't have this unless I get those nominations. Go on the website. There's a way to, send in nominations, etc. And I'd rather them come that way than directly to me anymore, just to make it easier. And with that, that's about all I have to say. I think Kathleen's next. Are you talking about or
Yes.
other stuff? Okay. So again, thank you, presenters, and thank you, everybody, for being here tonight.
Things. One is I'm not sure how she was doing it, but I was communicating with Margaret via Messenger. They were actually driving someplace, and Margaret was driving during that ceremony. But they must have been on the online feed on Christoph's phone, and she heard all of it. They may still be listening. I don't know how long of a drive it was, but so I have a feeling though. I mean, the live feed's wonderful, but I'm really glad that because the live feed's not getting a picture of y'all. So I'm glad I think my phone sent it to her. We'll see. It might have been kind of a big file. The only other thing I wanted to say, because we haven't really announced this, and I happen to be standing here and I'm a big mouth and I talk a lot, and there's a lot of people here. We're changing for interfilk auction when the silent auction closes. So tell anybody who's not here, the silent auction is going to close about 15 minutes after the voice auction closes tonight. So even if you don't stay for the voice auction, which Mirab, when will we be starting that? Real soon now. I would say maybe 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. That would be pretty real soon now. So if you know of anybody that's interested in anything in the silent auction, this is your time to go bid on it and be here 15 minutes after this voice auction closes if you want to snipe bids. Okay, that's all.
All right, let's go congratulate people. Oh, yeah, let's go there.
Hello, sir. How are you doing? I always love your. I'm sorry, I have to be political songs. Dress up as the
And it is, it's live.
Ask you and the people with large wallets near the front.
About 5 minutes, people. 5 minutes till auction starts. Go back. You've got 5 minutes to go. Look at the silent stuff.
Tomorrow will be amazing.
All right, we're gonna start the airfield auction here and like real soon now. Like now. I am going to turn this over to Meryl Hoffman.
I have been told that you cannot hear me while I'm wearing a mask. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay, fabulous. So the microphone stand is fighting me, so that'll be fun. A little bit out of the microphone stand. Thank you, Kathy. Oh, not too high. Whoop, yeah, it likes me. All right. So I brought with me Emily Lewis. Emily and I are among the new faces of Interville, also Zach Slims in the back. And Lizzie Crow, the four of us make up the four new faces of Interville. And we are working on some new programs for Interville that I think you're excited about. But first, we have a little skit. And the people with the plastic letters, please like to come up to the front and read the skit with me. Excellent.